What's up? What's up? AW here, Air Warrior. What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Hope doing good, man. Hope you're really doing good tonight. It's beautiful Wednesday. Oh yeah, I'm doing good. It's nice out now. Nice night. Yeah. Welcome to my channel, guys. If you make sure to do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, comment below for new and current subs. Do all that, please. I want to see you guys in the chat. I want the chat to start popping soon, any minute, please. I'm good, Degrassi. I'm good. I'm good. It's good to see you, Degrassi. How are you doing, buddy? How are you doing? Ah, oh fuck, we're screwed. All right, all right. I'm good, man. We're good. Yeah, this is for Andor, guys. We're gonna be viewing Andor episode 4, 5, and 6, where things start to get interesting. Yeah, in the in season 2 of Andor, we got rebel groups. We've got a lot of things to talk about. 4, 5, and 6. Well, I'm not doing well. I don't want to see Thunderbolts anymore. And there's a reason why I don't want to see Thunderbolts, guys. I don't want to see Thunderbolts anymore because of one little kid. One little kid ruined it for me. One little kid ruined it for me. And that kid is a fucking Whistler. The Wizard got to go to the LA premiere of Thunderbolts. And now I don't want to see any Marvel stuff anymore. I'm done with Marvel just because of Whistler. Whistler has the Whistler has took the joy out of me for Marvel. Good job, Wizard. You killed Marvel. Okay. No, no, I'm just kidding. Like, still, I don't like. I still hate that. I hate that family though. I hate any family that exploits their kids on social media. I just, I hate it. I hate it. I hate. I just hate that in general. And I just hate companies. I just hate companies giving into that. And I'm putting you in there, Disney. I'm putting you in that category. I know where you're doing it, but I just hate families that exploit their kids just because their parents couldn't get famous on their own, so they have to use the kids to get it famous. You know, it's like the saying. It's like the saying, Your parents live vicariously through their kids." I just hate. I know Degrassi hates it too. All right, I'm on with that. I'm moving on from that. Um, Now it's time to go back to the Andor Andor episode 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, so remember all 3 episodes, right? All 3 episodes every Tuesday. So it's going we're about halfway there, right? If you're not smart to figure out, we're halfway. You know, I'm gonna invite you to Degrassi. You know, if you want to talk Andor Degrassi, feel free. We're gonna be I invited Blinded too, but I don't know where he is. But yeah, so if you don't know, we're halfway through Andor. It's only 4 weeks, but 3 episodes. So 12 episodes in total. 4, 5, or 6. It's a 1 year jump. A 1 year jump from episode 3 of Andor season 2. We jump 1 year. Now Andor is living in Coruscant, hiding out in Coruscant. Now married to Bix. Bix. And they're living in a safe house in Coruscant, provided by Luthen, who is Stellan Skarsgård's character. Luthen is the guy who gives missions to Andor, which is also secretly a museum curator, something like that, right? But it's actually a spy, undercover spy for the rebels. But I don't know where blinded is. Okay, so yes, like I said, Andor and Bix are married now. They're a couple. They're married. Okay, but they're struggling. They're struggling. Bix is struggling with sleep. Okay, and this has to do with the hands of from the first season, right? She's struggling with that. She's suffering from definitely trauma. You can see it. Right? She's definitely struggling from trauma. And she can't sleep. All right? She can't really sleep. And Andor is struggling to sleep too, right? But they have to stay in hiding, specifically Andor, because yes, Coruscant is a big ass city. Okay, but there could be there could be imperial spies there, right? And if Andor gets noticed, he's fucked, right? He's fucked. So he has to be careful. So they go to it like, we're not gonna go through everything every 3 episodes. I can't go shot for shot. I'm gonna try my best. So yeah, so they have to go in hiding. So they go to the store, get some, they get items, right? You get food and stuff. And Andor has to cover his head, right? Cover his head so he won't get noticed. And it's tough. It's tough. They gotta live. They gotta hide themselves, right? And it's taking a toll on them. It's taking a toll on them, right? On Bix and Andor, Cassian. While this is going down, there's a planet called Gorshon. Is it called Gorshon? I might pronounce it wrong. Gorshon. And this is where a year after, what's his name? Karn. Karn. What's his first name? What's so something, right? What's his first name? Cause I know it's okay. Cyril Karn, right? Cyril Karn. So he's an expector, right? Okay. So he's on this planet called Gorsha, right? He's taking the empire where the empire is, kind of, right? Um, he's taking on his, right. He lives in Gorsha now, and right. And so he went there, right? All right. So Karn's on Gorshan, yeah. So Cyril's on Gorshan now, right? Let me see if I'm pronouncing it right. Okay. Gormon. That's the Gormon. Gormon. Okay. And there's the Empire is kind of building an armory there, right? There's an army building there, right? Right. So while this is going on, there's a group of rebels there that are against the Empire that want to. Their plan is to obviously not that the army get made. Karn infiltrates the group of rebels. Infiltrates the group of rebels. Okay, to pretend he's been sympathetic to the cause. He introduced this group of rebels. All right, right, and they began and they let him into their group of rebels. But right, he infiltrated it. He convinced them that he's on their side. That he's trustworthy, and he obviously this is he tells his girl Deidre, who's security, and and what's the other guys? Partagas, who's kind of the boss, who has him in charge, right? Who's the leader in charge, right? Right. All right. So yeah, tells him all about what the rebels are planning. Right. He's the spy for the Imperial, right? The Empire infiltrated a group of rebels in Gormon. Okay. Also, while this is going down, the rebels have a spy of their own within the Empire, and I don't know the guy's name. What is the guy's name? What's the guy's name? I don't know the guy's name, but they have a spy of their own in amongst the empire. Okay, amongst and this spy, this isn't one that tells. He's the one that tells, obviously in secret hiding, Luthen, right? Luthen about Gormon, right? About Gormon and what the Empire is potentially having there, making there. So Luthen takes that information, right? Information, and he assigns it to Andor, Cassian, right? Cassian Andor. And at this point in the show, Andor and Bix, they've been well. This 1 year has been going. Why there's 1 year time jump from the the third episode. It's they've been doing missions together for Luthen, right? And they really never have time to like have a break, okay? But on this mission, Luthen just says to Cassian, this is just Cassian's mission. It's him alone. It's him alone. Okay, it's him alone. Okay, him alone. And so Cassius goes on the mission to Gorman and try to join the rebels and see if the plan they're coming up with is sufficient and a plan that could work, that he believes can work, right? That leaves Luthen alone with with and Bix alone, right? And she needs a vial of some liquid to help her sleep, like a drug. We have drugs like that in real life, right? And so on, right? So yeah, Cassian does leave for Luthien, right? No, not Luthien, Gormon. He does leave. Okay, does leave for Gormon. Okay, and and he's a spy, so he goes into Gormon masquerading as a fashion designer, right? The way he dressed, the way he looks, like how a fashion designer, and the way he talks like how a fashion designer probably would talk. Okay, so he masquerades as a fashion designer and gets a hotel room. And the bus boy, is it the bus boy? Bellboy tells him about what happened. There was kind of like a mass execution that happened years earlier in Ngor- Ngorman, executed by, and this execution was kind of executed by Tarkin, who Tarkin is, Tarkin. We know who Tarkin is. He's in the Grand Admiral Tarkin, who's, I guess, in Star Wars would be Degrassi. Help me out, the Tarkin. Who is, if you're still here? Who is the higher the totem pole? Him or Vader? Who would he save? Him or Vader? In terms of hierarchy. But so yeah, we know Tarkin, right? The actors obviously they use his image and likeness for Rogue One because the actor is not alive. The actor passed away. Okay, but yeah, and Bellboy, right, with Cassian looking over the window into the view of the city, tells him that his father was one of the victims. Okay, of the execution, whatever, right? Okay, so Cassian had to work around and find this group of rebels, right? That we're gonna take down the armory, right? Okay. Assess. He wasn't there going to join, but he was going to assess the rebels to see if their plan is has a chance. And okay, so Andor over time does connect with the rebels. Okay, does work his way. He infiltrates the rebels. Well, not really infiltrating, Um, they want to intercept a weapon shipment, right? A weapon shipment, right? That's the plan. Okay, so they do that, right? But apparently the rebels to him rebels are like, yeah, to him are too experienced, and this is kind of a big mission for a very inexperienced group of rebels. Because he's kind of right. The group of rebels you see in the that are doing this mission, they're kind of very very young, and seem like this is the first mission, and this mission that they're going on, embarking on to steal the weapons that are heading for the army. Right? It seems like it's a out of the league kind of mission, like for a first mission. And she basically tells him this plan will not work, which actually it did work. It did work, and we'll get to that. It did work, but at a price, at a cost, at a cost. Okay, at a huge cost, right? But we'll get to that later on. But Cassian, yeah, so Cassian decides not to join up with the plan, this heist, goes back to Coruscant and tells Luthen what he's learned. What he's learned about the plan, right? What he knows about the plan, right? Okay. So, but let's go back to the heist. Despite Cassian Andor Cassian saying, yeah, they're too experienced and this plan won't work. The heist actually succeeded. The rebels actually succeeded. Okay, okay. The heist actually succeeded. Okay, but with the thing with the heist is while while we turn to Coruscant, right? While we turn to Coruscant and confronting Luthen about the plan, they kind of bit of a disagreement, right? Where with a plan, like the disagreement on the plan, like Luthen's all for the plan, all for the heist, and Cassian is not like that. It's not. He believes this heist won't. With this rebels, the heist it's gonna be foiled, and they're gonna die. It's gonna be, it's not gonna go well. But Luthen go forward to have the with the says, you know what? We're gonna help them out anyway. So he doesn't sell Cassian's back. He doesn't sell Cassian back, right? He sends two other spies that he has working under him, right? Right? Uh, Val is in Cincha, right? Sells, sends them to replace Cassius, right? Cassian Andor, okay? Instead of, it is a dead chat. This is a problem with Star Wars, man. I'm sorry. This is why I'm hesitating to do Star Wars. This is because there's a lot of people don't like me talking Star Wars or don't like talking Star Wars on this channel. Okay, so sends two other spies. They're in a romantic relationship, and they kind of experience too to lead this group of rebels, right? So they're the ones who takes control of the heist because they're experienced, right? They're experienced. Okay. The thing is, the heist is successful, but it's in the town, right? It's in the town, and so you have to make sure regular citizens don't come by and potentially report the heist, right? See the heist and report. Unfortunately, when the rebels got a bit of a not bit of a big tussle with one of the citizens, he warned the citizen that don't come through here, go and find another way. But that citizen, was not accepting that and was being aggressive and hostile to a point where they get in a scuffle, and I forget the rebel's name. Young had a gun and accidentally went off. One of those guns went off and killed a fellow rebel member. Not killed him. Well, killed somebody on the team. One of the spies that Luthien sent. Okay, Sintra. Sintra. Yes, Sintra is the one that gets shot and accidentally shot. And Val just laid it into the guy shot her, even though the guy was like really, really upset, crying, was sorry. You could tell in his face. He was distraught, distraught as hell. But uh, but 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 Central's lover was just giving it to him, cold, harsh, harsh, very harsh. Okay, very harsh. But the heist was successful. Over while the heist was going on, you see Cyril Carnes watching on the roof with the binoculars the heist because he infiltrated the rebels, the rebels organization that committed the heist, and he was reporting back to Deidre and how can you say this guy's name? Deidre and Partagaz. This is Palm Stars, man. Some places have really, really hard names to pronounce. Okay. Well, that's going on. There was a party going on in the final episode, and this is gonna be short, man. Like nobody really cares about this. I told you, nobody really cares about Star Wars on this. Okay, this is going on. There's a party going on, an investor party, and Krennic has happened to be there. Malcolm come and debate on. They debate on things. Oh, okay, Degrassi. It's just I don't know Degrassi. It's just some reason for Star Wars. Especially this, I just don't get people like I would for other stuff. It's it's kind of deflating a bit, I admit. Okay, and I'm watching also NBA playoffs, Minnesota and Lakers. See if the Lakers get eliminated. But yeah, you see Krennic. Oh my God. Also, Bix and Cassidy get revenge at the end of episode 6. They break into Gorse's new office. Gorse is the one that tormented Bix, and they kill him using his own torture method. Gets eye for an eye. And then they blow up the building too. Um, Also, there's a side story with Wilmon, and we get a returning Wilmon. We get what's his name? Where is it? Where is the guy's name? Where is Forrest Whitaker's name? Character's name? What the? Sagura. Yeah, Sagura. And this guy is like he's for the good. He's a good guy, but he's willing to do anything. Like he's not exactly morally right. His morals are questionable. Yeah, but he comes back, right? All right, and he tasked Wilmon to teach one man how to work a wide dome extractor as part of a fuel heist because they plan to do a heist of their own. And it turns out the guy that Wilmon was training was teaching turned out to be a traitor himself and was an imperial spy. Okay, his name is Pluty. All right. So with that, because Saul con- was contemplating about killing Wilmon after Wilmon taught Pluty how for the thing, whatever it's called, right? And but it turns out he shot Pluty instead because Pluty turned out to be an Imperial spy, and now that forces Wilmon to be the new to take Pluty's place on Salgura's I want to say team, but group. Okay, working a tractor. Now, there's a belief out there that my buddy blinded things. Why is Deidre so passionate about not passionate? Why so a lot of hatred when we first said Cassius Andor? Why is there so much? Why does she have so much ill will towards him? Right? I mean, she's a bad guy, of course. So he's a good guy, trying to do the right things. Obviously, he's a rebel. So there's some people blinded told me this that he thinks like there's more to Deidre than it seems because Deidre in the third episode, the year before they do the time jump, Cyril's mother, Karin's mother, asked Deidre her background. Parents died, or her parents were like spies or something like that. Parents were something, and she was raised differently, right? But not imperial. No. Her parents were imperials. There was something else, but she wasn't raised by her parents, basically, right? But it seemed odd because she didn't talk much about her background, right? She seems like not she's not fond of her background, right? Like it's like her upbringing was not a good time for her. But something's a little off. Now there's some people like blind to believe that maybe it's actually Cassia's sister. Cassia's sister is really Deidre, and Cassius Andor does have a sister. Does have a sister also, right? It's possible. It's possible. But something odd. You know, this series. Krennic gives a lot of attention, a lot of a lot of clout, a lot of tension, pass, clout, wherever, pass. She passing right, like a lot of passes towards Deidre too, when she screws up. Like that's very weird in the Empire. When you screw up, like you don't get a lot of chances, specifically more than once, right? Now, why? Why would Krennic do that? Krennic gave a lot of chances to Deidre. Okay, I don't know. It might be. There's a belief that Deidre could be Cassius' sister, but there's also a belief that some people have this idea that the relationship between Krennic and Deidre is just is there's something more. And another theory out there with Deidre is that Krennic is really Deidre's father. Okay, now I don't believe that because when she know, or if right, when she know, or otherwise she'd be keeping that from her, right? But I think that'd be hard to keep from her if they've been around a lot of each other this whole time. She's been working under him. I'm like, it's not like I don't think it's something uh, she would hide. And the third episode, like talking about her parents, I believe that I don't think in the third episode where she talks about her parents, if that's the case, Krennic was her father. If she knows Krennic is father, I think she's outright would say it in the third episode that Krennic is her father. So I don't believe it's that She's that Krennic is the father of Deidre. Okay, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know. I just don't. Honestly, I don't see. I don't honestly with the sister thing. I don't see that as either possible. Not possible. It could be a possible. These two things could be possible. I just see higher unlikely that she's a sister of Cassius or the daughter of Krennic. I think she's just a very important character, not related to either of them, and that's okay. We not everybody has to be related to somebody, right? Not everybody's backstory has to be. Not everybody's backstory has to be more to that story, right? Right? It doesn't have to be like for somebody's backstory. It doesn't always have to be. Oh, there's really. It's just they're hiding something. There's more to their backstory. No, not always. You don't have to do that. If and I hear in this show, I don't think it's for Deidre. I don't think that's the case. Okay. I don't think that's the case at all. But who knows? I just going what I think. Some, you know what? Next week's episodes could change my opinion on that. It could change things, right? Sometimes with shows, TV shows, you gotta go week by week, right? So that's what could happen here. Ah, that's all I have because I wish Blinded was here. But yeah, this just it would be a lot more interesting if there's more people here. I'll be back tomorrow.